We asked 100 people what they think of this, the new all-electric Mini Cooper. But while my twin sister is in Bourton-on-the-Water speaking with the general public, I am here at the UK media launch.
Beat the drums! Wave the flags! British flags! For the fabulous twins, the Austin 7 and the Morris Mini Minor.
The original Mini was the car to be seen in and a cultural icon of the 60s and beyond. Fast forward to 2024 and we have this, BMW's 5th generation, even bigger all-electric Mini. But is it the people's car of choice still? That is why we're parked here illegally in probably one of the best known of the small Cotswolds towns, Darling. Is it going to be a big hit? That's what we're here to find out. No cows harmed in the making.
It's in the market for it.
Well, I'm not selling them, I'm just a journalist. Do you like it? I'm not sure.
It's like, I don't know how I feel about it.
I wouldn't have this, wouldn't have that.
I really loved the first all-electric Mini. It's really rather good to drive. See, I told you, it still retained the brand's infamous go-kart feeling. And at that point in time, there was no other EV at that price that handled so well. It was a real driver's car and it is still held in high regard, but the range was the only niggly thing for me, and the cramped rear space and boot. The design remit for the all-electric Mini Cooper was maximum reduction to the essentials. What does that mean in plain English? Well, they binned all of the chrome, they made the door handles flush for the first time on a Mini. They also removed the arch cladding here and the side scuttles. It makes for a much more contemporary, cleaner look. And at the same time, they've retained those hallmark styling cues. Short overhangs, short bonnet, but a longer wheelbase, and added bigger wheels. We just noticed this. It looks like it's corroding. Actually peel some of the paint off. It's not very good, Mini. It's an evolution, not revolution. It's an evolution, not revolution, of the design language. They've retained the infamous Mini circular headlights but updated the front end with this striking new octagonal grille. While out back, those clear surfaces and flush rear lights help to make it feel more contemporary. And thank God those jingoistic Union Jack motors can be switched out now. Instead, we got this mini disco in the light unit. Big box, little box, big box, little box, big box, little box. This is a pure EV. Well, that's what I should be saying. But it also comes in petrol. And it seems even Mini are ashamed of that because they've hidden the exhaust and created a synthesized soundtrack instead of that pop burbling exhaust that we're used to from the petrol versions. On the plus side, it does sit on all new electric car underpinnings as a result of the collaboration between BMW, who obviously own Mini, as you know, and Great Wall Motors. Yeah, I was surprised by that too. They're the manufacturer behind the Aura 03, formerly known as Funky Cat. The first electric Mini was based on the petrol version, and all they did was rip out the engine and just put an electric motor in its place. Because of that, it obviously had all those aforementioned pitfalls. The entry-level Cooper E gets 184 horsepower from an electric motor that drives the front wheels. And that equates to 0 to 62 in 7.3 seconds, which isn't bad, but it is quicker than the MG4 and the Peugeot E208. The SE version, which is the model we're in today, gets 218 horsepower, which completes the same sprint in 6.7 seconds, which makes it quicker than the Abarth 500e. So we're just about to do a standing start. And there's that ridiculous synthesized sound. Not quite like the Abarth. It's more of a, I don't know, what kind of noise would you call that, Ben?
I'd say it's a bit more futuristic. It's not sympathetic to a motor, an ICE vehicle.
No.
It sounds more techy.
Yeah. But that range, the entry-level Cooper has a 40.7 kilowatt battery. which gives an official range of 190 miles, but realistically, you're not going to get probably more than 150, which means you're forced to buy the more expensive SE, 4.5 grand more in fact, and Mini actually reckon that 70% of its buyers will go for this model. Because it's got that bigger 49.2 kilowatt hour battery, which gives it a range of up to 250 miles, which just makes it more usable and that you can actually complete one long journey without having to stop. Let's just check in and see how Twinny's getting on. So this is all recycled knit in here, and there's no, it's all pleather. Did you say convertible?
Yeah.
So that's TBC'd.
Is it, what's that mean?
To be confirmed, but
Oh,
yeah, pretty
Andrew,
much, yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not allowed to officially know, but
No.
I think it's on the cards. Off the line there, it felt a little bit lazy, but I guess the upside of that is less wheel spin at the front. With a 2.2 fixed ratio direct lock, the steering takes a bit of getting used to, but once you do, you will fall in love with how precise it is. The nose points into the corners like no Mini has before it, and you can load up the front and make the rear, what's the saying? You can load up the front and bring the rear into play. It really is communicative, interactive, fun. It's what you want from a hot hatch. It is at least taller and longer than its predecessor, offering more space and comfort. A car for the people. The boot, however, is just 210 litres, and I don't think that's right. That was, wasn't it? If it is 210 litres, do you want to keep that in?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's enough room for basically Ben's camera bags and 15 not so mini keys. And while a 6-footer can fit in the back, you will need a 5-foot-something driver and the ability of a contortionist to get in. Could you see my knickers?
I don't know, maybe.
I think it makes its biggest impression inside. It's minimalist, but not to the point of Tesla. I really like this curved dash with its knitted textile surface, and it extends to the door cards. It's recycled, obviously, but as cameraman Ben pointed out, if you've got your arm on here, that's gonna leave some awkward marks. You can cut that bit out if you want. But the interior plastics could still be better, Mini. Very scratchy here, here, and down here. And then there's this, the 9.4-inch OLED display, which is the world's first touch display and circular display in a vehicle. And I can't quite decide whether it's cool or not. It replaces the traditional driver's display, but I don't see why I should have to pay for heads up just for the privilege of having the information in my field of vision. And adds the infamous toggle bar below, which together with the screen harks back to Minis of old. And then there's this digital car companion. Hey Mini, this is Spike. I don't know who he is, but apparently it's very familiar to Mini fans. It's just all a bit Chinese for me, not very German. Hey Mini, take a selfie.
That's not nice.
No, that's a little bit offensive. Overall, it's made a really good impression, but I've just been told that Mini are killing off this model in 2028 when something better comes along. This is literally a stopgap of sorts until they bring out that dedicated skateboard EV chassis. Ooh, I wonder how Twinny's getting on.
I mean, the R56 petrels was starting around about 18 back in the day.
Yeah, I wonder what that would equate to if you were to translate it into today's money.
15 years ago, so yeah, you kind of work it out over the years.
Yeah.
It's not a million mile off,
Might
is it?
have to do that when I get home. It's genuinely a real hoot to drive. It feels like every hot hatch should. The ride might be a little bit too firm for some, but that's a small trade-off for a car that really handles. Both cars offer 7 Mini experience modes that bring their own displays and powertrain characteristics. including a new go-kart mode which sharpens the throttle sensitivity, stiffens the steering response and limits traction control. Woohoo!
Oh, is that what it is?
That's go-kart mode, in case you're wondering.
Oh, I see.
Oh, and here's the go-kart sound. Oh, that really does sharpen the throttle response, doesn't it? So, the moment of truth. Is it a car for the people? The results are in. Over to you, Twinny. Thank you, Louise. The results from the people were certainly interesting. Out of 100 people, these were the positives. 88 people said that they preferred the new styling. 76 people said they preferred the futuristic interior. 75 people thought they would make a good family car. 71 people said they liked the new screen. And only 20 people liked that digital companion. Other valid comments were as follows. You can only use the touchscreen to adjust the aircon? No thanks. It's all too Gen Z. There's only 3 trim levels and 4 colours. Forget it, not interested. Can it charge in the rain? No, it can't. Subsequently, he walked off. The boot is too tiny. And lastly, please leave, you're not permitted to be here. So what does all this mean? I don't really know.